All the world's climate scientists are wrong, all of them. From MIT, NASA, Stanford, Cambridge, Harvard, Dartmouth, all the world's leading universities say that we have 8 years to get the job completed of reducing our use of coal and oil 80%. That means we have less than 12 months to turn the upcoming presidential election into not some meaningless exercise of who the next captain of the Titanic is, but a decision to implement national policy to use our wind, use our sun. With today's technology, we don't need any new technology, and to get our coal and oil use reduced 80% by 2020. If we do that, then half the world's species will not go extinct by 2050. If we don't do that, they will. We don't have is a citizenry that knows how to stand up anymore. All we know how to do is tell government what to do. My father's generation didn't go and tell Roosevelt to win the war. They put on uniforms. They went to factories. We are the ones that have to stand up. We don't have a problem with President Obama. We don't have a problem with the Democrats in Congress. They may or may not be heroes, but they're not the problem. The problem is that the people that are mobilized in this country are my brother and sister lunatics on the right wing that are into science denial and everything but what makes sense. Marches of tens of thousands of people your age that didn't stop around the country and conveniently blocked intersections to get people to wake up. That could do it. That could be equivalent. But total devotion of your lives. But the types of marches we typically do, we're coming out for 2 hours and do this march.
Right.
That wouldn't have brought civil rights. It wouldn't have got women the right to vote. It wouldn't have gotten rid of Mubarak. And we're up against two forces here of gargantuan power. The least important is 7 of the 10 largest corporations in the world, which are oil companies. The most, by far, is the most addicted culture, affluholics. We are addicted to affluence. We are addicted to stuff, to comfort, to our normal lifestyle that the world has ever seen. Never think that a radically committed individual can't change the world. It's the only thing that ever has. Any significant change started with someone, often very anonymous, or maybe a bunch of disconnected someones that stood up the way a human being should. Basically, they snapped out of the insanity of the time and started behaving in a way that was sane. It looked crazy, but it was sane, and it began to wake up other people around them. And then there was a small group, and then there was a larger group. There are millions of people that know what I'm saying here. I know of 2 or 3 that have let it get here. My father's generation, when they saw Pearl Harbor, the Nazi threat went from here to here. And America stopped doing everything normal until they got the job done of securing a future for their children. That's what we need to do, including people your age. You have a moral right to stand up unviolently in the face of anyone and everyone you know and say, you are not going to hand me a dying planet. We don't need to send anyone to the Middle East to die for Arizona sun and Midwest wind. And we have to make the decision now. We have to stop the argument because we need all 8 years to get the job done technically. Plan B 3.0 is the best integration, the one book you can go to look at the economics, the climate science, the technology. There's nothing clever there. They've just done the job of pulling it all together. 20% of the book is citations to NASA, Lawrence Livermore, all these leading institutions. There's nothing clever, but it's the one place you can go to decide that what I'm saying is BS, or to make the decision that I've made. No, I'm not going to let this happen. I am not. I'm going to put my body in the way of this harm. Whatever happens to me happens, but I am not going to stay on the sidelines for this.